Alright traders, we're back. I want to revisit the Euro versus the Canadian. We have a bearish conviction here. Pulled the trigger twice, actually 3 times. I did decrease the position slightly a couple of days ago in light of some strong positive momentum. But eventually, I was pretty content with how things played out. I mean, we had that swift move to the upside a couple of days ago. I was a bit concerned about that move. But take a look what happened just the following day. Another major touchdown here on both the 200-day moving average and our main point of reference, in this case, the mighty resistance of 150.72. We've already had that. It was almost a replication of what we seen last week with that particular reaction. Both the 200-day moving average yet again and the 50.72 price turned around and began to move downwards. So it just came back, did the same thing here, and boom, bounced back down. I think we may be looking at the last kind of engagement with that 50.72, which I consider to be an important pivotal point. So if that's the case, we'll see price begin to move downwards as it did yesterday, continuing that momentum. We should be seeing the obstacle at 49.78, maybe posing some difficulties. Eventually, I also suspect that's going to be broken just as well. I'm saying this because of the nature of the big picture. We can see, this is really, I think this is priceless, right? Price was on the upside. We've seen this lovely reaction on the 50.72, and I think we're back on the downside just to complete the same move. Price did come from above. Now I want to remind you, if we take a look at the big picture, we're coming from the edge of the huge setup, the black one that's coming from, the black and the blue, by the way, both coming from the monthly chart. So the first move on the downside, I suspect, was the first downside segment, followed by a trading range, which was, I believe, the second corrective segment. I think it is more likely that we'll see price begin to move. Right, begin to move and build up the third segment that will complete this downside trend. So this is what I'm trying to focus here on, the long-term perspective and the potential targets around 47.55 and final destination 43.89. So we're talking about a pretty ambitious move of about 600 and something pip, potentially speaking. Once we can break below the obstacle of 49.78, the path should be quite clear for price to push all the way to 47.55. That's going to be our secondary target. Now, I did adjusted my stop loss level slightly by 70 pip from 52.50, which was my initial placement just recently, to 51.80. As long as price proves to remain below 50.72 and the 200-day moving average, I feel safer to tighten that stop loss up. And there you go. That's about that. Very bearish outlook right now on the Euro versus the Canadian. Once we break below 49.78, I plan to increase this position and push it into bigger size. All right, that's about that for this, guys. That's about that for today. We'll see you tomorrow.